everybody, and welcome to my channel. If you have been here for a little while, welcome back. And if this is your first time here, my name is Avon Van Hassel. I write fairy tale retellings. I have a blog on my website. I'm active on all the socials. And here on YouTube, I usually talk about writing tips and tricks or fun little history tidbits where I talk about literature and mythology and all of that sort of thing. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I have done it before, but I don't do it regularly, and today is even a little bit more different than that. So a couple of days ago, I got back from the UK. I had many adventures, and I went traveling lots of places, and I got lots of footage for different videos that are coming out later this year, as well as a couple of blog posts, Patreon posts, that sort of thing. Lots and lots of stuff. But also while I was there, I kind of got engaged. A little bit. So he is a friend of mine from a long time ago. He's been in my life for a great many years, and it just has gotten to a point where it just kind of feels right, you know? So that's really nice. I'm really looking forward to this new adventure and this new phase of my life, I guess. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun together. So while I was there, he finished up a project that he's been working on for me for a long time. He is a bookbinder, which is very cool, and obviously very much in line with a lot of my own interests. We're both in the book industry, which is interesting. It's interesting that we line up that way. So his name is Benjamin Pointer, and his business is called Benjamin G. Pointer Bookbinding and Restoration, which is in England. Right now, the majority of his work is like restoring old books for old libraries or for people to like auction off overseas. He works with a lot of first editions of old books. But he's kind of kicking around the idea of getting into custom books like grimoires and things. So if you're interested in a custom grimoire, do let me know. Leave a comment. So yeah, one of the days on my trip, I got to go to his bindery and watch him work. And he was, like I said, he was finishing up on a project that he's been working on for me for a little while. And I packed it up. Well, he packed it up, but I brought it home in the box that he packed it in. And I am unboxing it today. I have not seen it since he packed it. I did not take a picture of the final product. So while this is not fully new to me, it's been probably over a week by the time I post this. It will have been over a week since I saw it. So I thought it would be fun for us to open it up together. And if you hear that, that's rose petals. It's packed full of rose petals. So what this is a custom-made grimoire, which is a record of a witch's workings, and it's also a bunch of like reference materials and musings and that sort of thing. So it's basically a witch's diary in a sense. This was made from scratch to my specifications, and he has all kinds of lore and symbolism behind how he created the cover and the different designs on it. And I am really looking forward to sharing all of that with you guys. So we're going to open it up. Also, I'm kind of filming diagonally today in my chair. I'm tired of like trying to hide my closet mess. And it's kind of fun because you guys get to see what's going on in my corner. Ignore this, whatever this is. How do we feel about this kind of like 3/4 turn? Do we like it? Do we not like it? Let me know. Also, this is original art from Laura Tempest Zakroff. This is like a wormwood fairy that she was selling a couple years ago. Unrelated, but I do like to show it off. So some of the pieces of lore that Benjamin was working into his grimoire designs is a lot of sort of proprietary elements, visual elements that are specific to a witch or a coven or a tradition or whatever that can't be replicated by other people, and that he would keep at his store to be like handed down as that specific witch chooses, or to be used in their own specific stuff. I'm going to show you in a second some stamps that are actually sigils that he made for me specific to this piece. and a badge that he made that nobody else can use. It's just mine forever. The custom grimoire process is a little bit involved. It's not too nosy, but there is quite a bit of like an interview process. So the symbols that I chose the rose, which is my favorite flower, and has to do with royalty, loyalty, love, beauty. It just has a lot of symbolism for me. It also has a lot to do with my love of England. I also chose orange blossoms, which is kind of a tie-in to my family. Every woman in my family has her own signature orange blossom perfume because we all have a fixation with orange blossoms. Also, my family has been in California for a couple hundred years, and oranges are something that California is famous for, and we all love the scent of a California summer, which is very heavily perfumed with orange blossoms. It also has a crown, which is not only represents my goddess, I have a little tattoo here, but also ties in with me and my the importance that leadership holds in my life, and regality and dignity and all of that. I have a couple of stars and moons as well because I became a witch in the 90s and we were all very about stars and moons in the 90s. So those are some elements that can't be on anybody else's grimoire. This is a custom-made grimoire that won't ever be like made and sold. It's just on mine. The colors are also significant, as well as I chose that I wanted 3 bookmark ribbons, and they each have a little like rosebud bead at the bottom of them. I will explain to you in a minute what the sigils mean. And then inside, he chose a variety of different papers. Some of them are just really good for writing, and some of them are specifically for pressing flowers. Also, it's got a specific kind of spine binding, which I think is called a springback. Basically, when it opens, it lies flat. Now, when I open it, it's not going to lie flat because it needs some time to sort of like loosen up. It's because it's just freshly made. It's very tight. So over time, it will loosen up and it will lie flat when I open it. So don't think it's defective just because it's not working yet. He also, I know for a fact, he was working with the moon cycle. This was actually finished on the full moon. This February of 2025, which was the 12th, I want to say, was the full moon. We got engaged the next day. I was very emotional. I cried a little bit. There was something else. There was a convergence of things that were happening. And so we had the full moon that landed on Lantern Festival, and then we had the day we got engaged, and then Valentine's Day, and then my friend's wedding, which was the whole reason I was in the country to begin with. So there was like a domino effect of like really emotional, romantic things happening. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to stop flicking this knife around, and we're going to actually open the box and see it for you guys for the first time. For me, the first and a half time. All right. So here's the box. I would say it's probably a 6x9. It looks like a regular sort of book. I'm just gonna pierce the tape a little bit. Try not to go too deep because I don't want to accidentally nick it. This is a really weird angle to do this from, but I can't find my gooseneck phone holder, and I hate that thing anyway, so I'm just gonna have to keep holding it up to show you, okay? So I think this was hand cut and folded down. The box was a perfect size, but then he like cut it down so that it was even better. All right, I don't need that knife anymore. And it is absolutely packed full of rose petals. I'm supposed to tell him if I can smell them. I can't, unfortunately. Rose petals, dried rose petals don't have much of a smell. If you're going to pack something with dried flower petals, don't really do rose unless you want it more for an aesthetic thing. Lavender has the strongest smell. Rose petals have a very faint smell, and like jasmine has like none at all, so don't even bother with her. All right, and the last petal. I'm just breaking the box a little bit so I can open it flat. So you can see a little bit there down the bottom. I have my arm in the way, sorry about it. I don't mind if I get some rose petals in my papasan chair. Alright, and then there's rose petals all in the bottom too. Alright, so here we have it. So the stars and the orange blossoms were originally white leather, but when he was cleaning it up, the dye from the leather moved around a little bit, and so now it's got this lovely burnished sort of sepia quality to it now, instead of that stark white against all the other warm tones. So you can see the roses that are almost Tudor roses, except for the red. There's no white petals, obviously. We have the lozenge, the green lozenge in the background. Those stars are gold leaf. Then we have the stars and moons, of course. And there's, like I said, there's symbolism to all of this. This is like proper heraldry. Like, he did a lot of research. And then it's pretty much the same on the back. Like, look at the detail on that crown. Like, look at it. Look at it. Look at the bead line on the lozenge and those tiny little stars. Like, look at that orange blossom. Look at the detail on those, like the center and the petals, right? And then there's like a little stamp in the corner there too. You see it? See if I can get my phone to focus. Yeah, you can see it. So these ribbons are hand-woven silk. They are, I think they're actually fairly local to where he lives. Definitely local to England. And then you saw the little rosebud beads. They almost look like peaches. And then the spine has some sigils on it, and my little stamp, so that rose and orange blossom stamp can't be used by anybody else but me. And if I remember correctly, and he's gonna yell at me if I get it wrong, but if I remember correctly, the red label sigil means knowledge and creativity, and the green label sigil means focus and confidence. And between the two of them, they represent motivation. So there's also speckling on the edges there, and they're absolutely glass smooth. And then, no, you can't play with this. My cat is like, ribbons. So we're going to, I think he wanted me to open it from this side first. Yeah, there it goes. So on the front cover, we have this marbled paper with the gold accent. It's kind of a sage and pink and blue. And then you see there how the paper lies flat. Isn't that cool? And then we've got this lovely textured regular writing paper. And then every few pages, we have a colored paper for pressing flowers. So even in the middle, you can see how it lies. I mean, not fully flat yet, like I said, but no, you don't get to play with it. So I do have to say that this will be the only one that does have the springback binding because it's such a pain in the butt. He hates it. But a perfect binding would still be beautiful, and I'm sure anybody would be happy to have one. And by the way, I'm not sure you can see, but the threads on the bind are my brand colors. So they're burgundy and sage. So this is my very special custom bespoke grimoire. Something of an engagement present. I'm very, very happy with it. I'm very, very emotional about it. I can't wait to write in it. I can't wait to hand it down to, I don't have a formal coven, but, handing it down to whoever inherits all of my stuff when I die. Whoever that will be. This is just an exquisite piece, and I'm just so proud to have it, and I almost feel unworthy to write in it, but I will. I am going to write in it. I'm not just going to leave it in my bin of blank notebooks. So, yeah. So that is our unboxing video of my custom-made grimoire by my brand new fiance. Also, just real quick, desperate plea, I'm getting married in like 15 months. So if you guys would like to join the Patreon or the coffee or buy my books or send me donations or whatever, anything like that, that would be much appreciated because your girl has a wedding to plan and pay for. So, which of course, there will be a lot of content about that. So, yeah, I can't wait to tell you guys how you can get your own beautiful book. Almost just like mine, but not quite just like mine. And until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful time. Love you lots. Bye.